with me tonight. He likes to work like early in the morning, so I'm like 8:30, 10 o'clock sending an email. I get a response like 5:55 in the morning. If I work late, he works early. Then we're responding to 5:55 in the morning.
You think we'll call the meeting to order? Again, we recognize the territory that we're on. This territory is the customary and traditional land of the Moosonee people since time immemorial. We acknowledge the sacred land on which the town of Moosonee operates. Within the lands protected by the James Bay Treaty, Treaty Number 9. We are grateful to have the opportunity to make decisions at this table that will impact our community.
For the transparency, I'd like to remind everyone that this meeting is being recorded in accordance with the municipality procedures. In the event of emergency, please keep quiet in this room and use the meeting.
Thank you. We open our meeting with the resolution 2026-122. Be it resolved that this regular council meeting comes to order at 6 p.m. Present, Mayor Typula, Councilor Ryder, Councilor Jones, Councilor Hunter, Councilor Naquity, both out of town, or notified us that they won't be here. Councilor Naquity is out of town. So with that, I will ask for a mover of this resolution, please. Carmen Tozer moves it. Seconder, Diane Ryder, seconds it. Any discussion open the meeting? If not, all in favor? Carried. This motion has been carried. The meeting is officially open. Thank you everyone for coming. We will go to the review of the agenda, please.
Resolution 2026, number 2026-123. Be it resolved that the agenda be accepted as presented / amended.
Thank you, Barbara. Can I have a mover for this resolution, please? Woodard, seconder, Diane Ryder. Any changes, additions to the agenda? Don't see any, so we'll accept it as presented. Any further discussion? Not all in favor? Opposed, carried. This motion has been carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest. Are there any pecuniary interest to disclose at this time? Don't see any. If there's any that you're.
Yeah, what?
Okay,
Item 9B. Stocks.
9B. Great, and you see.
Devolving Waha, and I am the chair of the Waha board.
Thank you. Noted. Anytime during the meeting, if you have missed one and you want to be there, feel free to do so. Thank you. We'll go right on to the adoption of the minutes.
Resolution 2026, number 2026-124. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee adopt the minutes of the special meeting number 10-2026 and regular meeting number 11-2026 of April 28, 2026 and number 12-2026 of May 4, 2026 special meeting as presented / amended.
Thank you. Can I have a mover, please? And Ryder moves it, seconder. Carmen Tozer seconds it. So I've had a copy of the minutes, chance to go over them. Were there any changes? No amendments, we'll accept them as presented. Any further discussion? All in favor? This motion has been carried. We're going to presentation delegation, and the first one up is Todd Rubin with the youth of Seacans. And he's here, Todd. We will give you a hot seat, and again, we all have received your letter. Thank you. And you have up to 15 minutes to do your presentation.
Yeah, it shouldn't take that long, really. I'm just looking for an update because I did come here and do a presentation earlier in the I don't even know when it was, it's quite a while ago now. And I got a letter from the, your bylaw officers or the people that are your building inspectors and all that, asking me for an update, and I said, I did the presentation, I'm still waiting to hear what they're kind of deciding with the CCAN, and like I said, I'm trying to get CCANs allowed in residential property, so the reason why I'm trying to figure this all out is because I do have to take down my CCAN garage. It's actually pretty neat, and it withstood more than what some of the properties around here, shacks were caving in and decks and all that, so that kind of shows how straight these are. But I don't want to move it down and then move it again. I'm looking for direction from the council to see if they're willing to allow CCANs on residential properties so that I can kind of distribute them so they can be used as like little shacks or not garages essentially, but shacks for their hunting stuff. Like in one of my CCANs is just literally all my Halloween stuff. You know what I do for Halloween? All my Halloween stuff's in one of these CCANs, and that's all I do is just put them in there just so that they're out of the way and stored properly. But yeah, that's all I'm looking for, to see if you guys have any headway on the CCAN question that I had asked earlier in the year, so that I can let the building people know that, okay, they kind of decided this, so now I know what direction to kind of go. So I'm just trying to, instead of moving it 2 or 3 times, I'd rather just get it all organized so that when I take one down, it goes somewhere. And if not, I'm also looking for, does the town have any commercial properties that I can put these on as well? Like, and then when the building inspector sent me the letter, I don't know if you remember, the conversation was quite a while back. They didn't know if my property, 10 veterans, was institutional, commercial, residential. On one of your paperwork, it says it's residential. On another paperwork, it says institutional, including the person that emailed me, it says institutional property. And then my taxes have been paying commercial. So that's where we're trying to figure that out too. I always seem to find myself in these special spots, which I'm special. My mom always told me, so I don't mind. But yeah, just trying to figure out what direction you guys are kind of leaning towards, so I can kind of figure out where I need to head towards. Beyond that, I already kind of mentioned last time about how CCANs are better for fire, better for, breaking in and all that. Like, people aren't breaking into sides and all that. It's metal. If the fire's inside, it'll keep it inside. If it's a fire adjacent, like the bush fires around here, it won't go on, shouldn't go in there. And yeah, we're like a little, when you drive around in the smaller towns and all, you see CCANs in residential properties and on farms and all that. So that's all I'm asking, to see if we can do that, and that way I can take it down and it wouldn't have so many in one spot. Again, curious if the town has commercial property, if that's what it takes, or maybe try to set up my business there, because kind of growing a little too much, I think, that I wasn't expected to do with my stone, my grass and all that. So looking for commercial from the town as well. Started by first like people to get them myself. Beyond that, I'm done. Thank you.
Well, we can really depend on that. One of those.
The blue one?
All right, couple things that we give you an update on, when we've had put a change in staff, as you know.
Yeah.
We are working on it, looking into it. Again, the rezoning of properties will take away, we are to rezone it, but there's a process that takes time.
Yep.
So we will continue working on it. Saying that our bylaw enforcement officer, I think we're probably the Dead Street building official.
Possibly, yeah, like I'm not sure I could set it in the building, I don't know. I have the letter and it does say on his letter, institutional. And if, I don't mind taking down, if it's that way and I'm allowed to do it, I'm looking for direction for you guys to say, yes, it's okay, instead of figuring all this, putting it here, and then all of a sudden, another letter is like, hey, Todd, you're not allowed to do that, and then, let's just take the one step instead of 2 steps forward and 1 step, you know what I mean? So that could be a solving problem, is institutional, our CCAN's allowed on that, and if that property is there, that's fine, I'll leave it there, leave them there. But if you say no to institutional, this property is, I believe, institutional, and you have a CCAN in your back. And there's other residentials too that have CCANs, because again, right now I get it, I'm the nail that sticks out, because my CCANs are piled this high. But once I'm down here, well, why shouldn't the attention just go to me? It should be going to other residentials that have C cans as well.
And all I can say is we'll be looking into it much, especially now that we're getting back up. It will take a while, even with things rezoning and what, as we're working. The building, chief building official, that gives the building permits. Really, it's the Ontario Building Code, our code. We have nothing, we can't override or anything like that, so he has the final say on that. Okay.
So just taking them down and leaving them on the property would be fine for now?
I can't tell.
As I mean, that's what I'm trying to, I don't wanna go, I don't hear this and I wanna wait on you back here.
Hi,
Yes.
sorry. Hi. Gerald is on the phone right now, and I can confirm that it is from the chief building official. It's from a zoning and building standpoint that this is in violation. I do recall, Todd, at your last delegation, we did look into it after, just from staff point of view. We did consult with our planners and our building consultants, but we didn't receive any further direction on anything. But currently, the way that your CCANs are on your property and arranged, obviously they are not in compliance. I know that, for instance, I know you mentioned it's zone institutional. I know that was a bit of a complicated situation in terms of what the zoning was, but because you're a private entity, you can't have an institutionally zoned property. Only institutions can have those. So that's why you were switched to commercial briefly. But then Boblin did look up the zoning bylaw amendments, and it is zoned confirmed residential. So I know perhaps Gerald could speak to this, but I believe that it was suggested to you that you could apply for a rezoning that might allow for CCANs. But as it stands right now, residential does not allow for CCANs. And I agree with you. If other residential properties have CCANs, then we can enforce that. We are a lot of times complaint based. So like if you know of CCANs that you'd like us to look into, we can do that as well. So Gerald, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, really, the only thing I can add is that I certainly want to work with you, but it was built without a building permit. So we've got to get it cleared up, and it's been there for over a year, and we've been trying to work with you cooperatively. And I understand it's not simple, but certainly we have to move on. We have to get a building permit. And until the zoning and everything else is, you can't get the building permit. So it's in your hands to remove the CCANs, or of course, come to the committee and council and get your zoning changed to get everything in place to allow them to stay.
So the decision essentially is, Todd, you can't have those C cans on that property.
Right now, that's a zoning function, but
And the council's not willing to, I know you said you're gonna do research and all that, but like, it's been almost 6 months. I'm sure you guys could have, even Wayne, your shelter fell in, if you had a C can there, it wouldn't have fallen. I'm not trying to point out this, I just happen to know, same like there's other ones that was, my equipment says fell in, but if you had a C can, they just parked this boat in there and it went there, it wouldn't have fallen in, so that's all I'm looking to see if we can. The council, I believe, has the right, Gerald, I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name right or not, but I believe you guys have the right to say, you know what, we're gonna make a bylaw to allow C-cans. But again, I agree that you can't have lettering around, make them a certain color, don't, like make them look a little pretty, you know what I mean? Like little things like that. I don't think the building code would have too much to say if no one's living in them, they're used as a storage. I'm not sure, Gerald, you can maybe answer that, or because there's a lot of C-cans around town. I don't like doing this, but pointing fingers when people are pointing me and I'm, well, these guys. But there are a lot of C-cans in town that people are using more than, and I'm pretty sure they don't have stamps on them.
Can I get a point of clarification here? Are we dealing with two issues here? One is the use of C cans on residential or institutional or commercial or industrial properties. I think that's taken care of. That's one issue. The other issue I think that maybe Gerald has is with more with the.
Yeah, and I agree, and I will, but my point is, oh, I don't wanna take them down, and then to be told another thing where, oh, Todd, now you can't have them on that property, you know what I mean? I'm
Oh,
trying
then
to-
you have to move.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to, you know, you say, oh, you're only allowed 2 per property, okay, then boom, and you may or may not know, I own a few properties in town. And that my tenants or some of them would love to have a little, cause one of my shacks at one of my properties, actually, the roof caved in from the snow this winter. But that CCAN thing, I know it's not built to code, but it's still withstanding, you know, if that was there, nothing would have fell in, you know?
I think main thing is that right now, the zoning bylaw, I both have to deal with them. What I understand, our staff, we do some research, is that it has to be rezoned before the CCAN is allowed there. But I believe. Is that correct, Victoria? Did you hear me?
Yeah, that is currently the status, unless, as Todd stated, you guys decide to change the zoning and what's allowed in the different zones. That is something that you could do. But again, it's a process to change it. And as I mentioned before, like we are doing our official plan right now. You guys are aware of that. So I mean, doing some amendments to zoning bylaws is kind of part of the process with the official plan. We haven't reached that stage yet. So, I mean, you can choose to review it sooner, but ultimately it's up to you what you'd like to do. It's your bylaws, it's your zoning. Is that correct, Gerald? Yeah, that's my understanding.
Yeah, that's correct. But I think the big issue here is that it was constructed without a permit. So
Yeah,
we can't wait for a couple more years for all this to get resolved. And you know what, to be honest with the rest of the town, like we don't have some place that has stacked sea cans on top of each other in a situation that they could collapse. And the town really is in a position where it has to deal with this. And we've been quite patient. And so we can't wait longer. And I think you've been issued the order. And yeah, you need to look at that and you have rights to appeal if you wish, but at this current time, unfortunately, it's not permitted and you need a permit, so they have to come down.
Again, I do agree with it having to come down. Let's get that straight. I agree. It should come, not should. I will take it down because of the building permits and your concerns. I don't want to take 2 steps forward. I don't do this dance all night, but I don't want to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. I would, maybe if I take 1 down, then the company that I hire, it's very hard to hire companies around here. Is people go around here to get loaders or proper things that lift the CCAD. And then that way they can put on a truck and it can go to one property, I'll put it there, go there, grab the next CCAD, put it down, or take it instead of just, it's a little, and I'm willing to do it, but I'm just trying to, I don't want to put them somewhere and then find out you can't put them there. I'm trying to find commercial lot to put them on. So I will take it down, like it, but if I take them all down and put them right there, I know another month, another letter is gonna come saying, oh, they're supposed to be perpendicular, you know, like, I don't know, like, there's gonna be something else, I just want, hoping the council is willing to, I get new people coming in and all that. I'm just hoping you guys say, you know what, like, why don't we just allow CCADs, but let's have rules, you know, you can only do this, you can only do that, you can't pile them on top of each other, which I get. Or, you know, like, it's something simple as that. They cannot be lived in, you know, they can only be used for storage. They cannot be used for an ice cream shop all of a sudden sets up inside, you know, like just looking for something. Cause it is hard to even get a permit to build a garage around here. It would take a long time. But if you get a CCAN, you can have it set up and have your ski-doo or your boat in there. You can work on your boat, little things, you know, not a full thing, but people could work on their boat or store their 4-wheeler for the winters, not get damaged. Summer, take the 4-wheelers out, put the ski-doos in.
Okay, thanks, Tom. All I can say is that we have to, right now, we would have to rezone it would, there's a process, not having to apply it to him.
So I just wanted to make a comment that maybe on our, have it onto our agenda in our discussion to talk about the CCANs and what we want to do as a council, because I don't know that that's clear either. That yes, we know it's in the zoning and everything, but if we're talking about possibly, and I don't know that we are, but if we're talking about making some changes or whatever, I think we need to talk about that as a council if they're gonna go there before we start sending him to rezoning maybe, or to have it rezoned. I don't know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking is that I think as a council, we need to discuss what he mentioned.
pick up without come up at another meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm only trying to get you guys to kind of lean toward, I'm trying to pressure you essentially, but I'm hoping you guys are leaning towards, why not allow C-cans? We're in Moosonee, which is so far north, and like, it is hard to get anything to be built around here. And then all of a sudden you're trying to build something.
That would come, we'd have to discuss the rezoning.
I think we'll have that discussion.
Okay, that's all, like, so I do have a certain date here to take them down, but you guys won't have a thing by the date they're asking for them to be taken down. If I take them down, just put them down on the ground, will I get another letter? Then will I get back to
Not
you?
known for it, probably,
I think we'd be writing a lot of letters because we write one,
yeah.
so. I think it's certainly something we as a council should explore, because when you came here last, I did go for a drive around the community. And we have to come up with some type of, some guidance, some direction for people.
Yeah, so institutional too, I believe you're not allowed to have C-cans, and you have some, the church over here has some, like it's, you just, we're gonna allow C-cans on all properties, however, you're only allowed two, and they have to be matching colors, something that make them pretty,
We'll take that and look at that, but I think we'll have to have a meeting on the whole, like, rezoning and.
yeah, I'd like to kind of know like the pros and cons to them, like I'm not too sure, but I mean, I'd like to kind of hear, what the pros and cons are to having C-cans, like other communities that may have them. I don't know enough about them, other than I know what they look like and what they're used for, but I mean, I don't know, like if you have a municipality that does allow them, why they see it necessary to allow them, or again, not, like I don't know the argument, so I'd like to kind of have that discussion at council to be able to flush it out and make a decision on it.
I think for ones that are piled on top of each other, just go around to the old beers yard, they have them.
Yeah, but right now, like, going by the bylaw, if you change the bylaw, come up with that. And
So we will have it on the agenda again.
Okay, so like I said, all I'm looking forward to is looking to see an answer of how you guys were going on the whole thing.
I think,
Makes sense.
okay, we will move on to Sky Modular. They're on virtual. Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear us?
Yeah,
Can you hear us?
yes, I can hear well, and I can start the presentation if you are.
All right, I'll turn the floor over to you you have approximately 15 minutes to do your presentation. Thank you very much for coming, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes, we can.
Okay. All right. Very good. Let's start. Good afternoon, Mayor, members of and municipal staff. Thank you for the opportunity to present today. My name is Tim Muzaffarov, and I represent Sky Modular, which is an Ontario-based modular construction company focused on building durable, high-quality multi-family housing and commercial modular structures. Today's presentation is is about more than just one triplex project. It's about a practical and scalable solution for Northern Ontario communities facing housing shortages, staffing challenges, construction delays, and rising infrastructure costs. We believe that modular construction can become an important tool for communities like Moosonee to build housing, attract professionals, support healthcare and education, and create long-term infrastructure faster, more predictably than traditional construction. Northern Ontario municipalities face a unique set of construction challenges that are very different from Southern Ontario urban centers. Construction seasons are short, weather conditions are unpredictable, and there is a strong competition for qualified trades during the summer months. Even when funding becomes available, municipalities often struggle to find contractors able to mobilize quickly to remote communities. Construction timelines become difficult to predict, budget increase, and projects are frequently delayed. At the same time, demand for housing and infrastructure continues to grow. Municipalities need staff housing to recruit and retain skilled workers and talent. Hospitals need accommodations for healthcare professionals. Schools need modern learning spaces. Communities need affordable housing for residents, seniors, students, veterans, and families. And traditional construction methods are struggling to keep pace with those demands in northern communities. Housing is no longer simple a real estate issue. It is directly tied to economic development and essential services. Many northern municipalities are competing for the same pool of skilled workers and talents, nurses, teachers, municipal administrators, mechanics, tradesmen, and emergency personnel. When communities cannot provide quality housing options, recruitment becomes difficult and retention becomes even harder. Many municipalities are forced to rely on expensive temporary accommodations, hotels, or private rentals that may not be consistent and available. Purpose-built municipal housing creates stability for workers and their families and strengthens healthcare systems, improve educational retention, supports municipal operations, and helps communities grow sustainably. Modular construction addresses many of those exact challenges the northern municipalities face. Instead of building entirely on site in difficult weather conditions, modules are manufactured inside a control factory environment while site preparation occurs simultaneously. This dramatically reduces project timelines. Factory-controlled construction improves quality, consistency, reduces material waste, and minimizes weather-related delays. Budgets become more predictable because labor, materials, and timelines are planned in advance. Modular systems are also scalable. A municipality can begin with one project and later expand using the same modular platform and engineering standards. Certain modular structures can be designed for relocation as well, as future community needs a change. Most importantly, modular construction allows communities to deploy housing and infrastructure faster when the speed matters. The opportunity for modular construction extends far beyond a single housing project. Modular technology can support a wide range of municipal and community infrastructure needs. This includes staff housing, affordable rental housing, senior housing, student accommodations, transitional housing, and veterans housing. The same technology can also support relocatable schools, modular medical clinics, community facilities, office spaces, and emergency response buildings. For northern communities that require flexibility, speed, and long-term durability, modular construction offers a practical path forward. Sky Modular was created with a clear focus, delivering durable, efficient, and scalable modular housing solutions specifically suited for Ontario communities. Our company specializes in multifamily modular construction including duplexes, triplexes, fourplexes, townhomes, apartment buildings up to 4 stories, and commercial modular structures. We focus on practical housing solutions that provide long-term value, durability, and operational efficiency. Ontario housing environment has changed significantly. and triplexes and fourplexes are now permitted in residential zones across Ontario, creating new opportunities for municipalities and developers to increase housing supply efficiently. Sky Modular is positioned specifically to support this transition. One of the Sky Modular's major advantages is our steel frame construction system. Unlike traditional wood frame systems, steel structures provide long-term durability and especially valuable in northern environments. Steel resists rot, moisture damage, mold, pests, and rodents. It also provides improved fire resistance and structural stability. Our structures are engineered specifically for the geographic area where they'll be installed. That means snow loads, wind loads, insulation performance, and climate considerations are integrated in our engineering process from the beginning. Northern Ontario experiences some of the hardest climate conditions in Canada, and our systems are designed accordingly. Sky Modular provide a true turnkey manufacturing solution. Our modules are delivered substantially complete. Interior finishes, exterior finishes, kitchens, bathrooms, HVAC systems, electrical, plumbing, and appliances installed before the building arrives on site. This specifically reduces on-site construction requirements and eliminates many of the delays and coordination challenges associated with the traditional construction. For municipalities, that means fewer unknowns, fewer change orders, and fewer construction headaches. This results in a faster path from project approval to occupancy. Time matters in northern construction. Because modules are manufactured indoors, production continues year-round regardless of weather. At the same time, site work and foundations can proceed in parallel, significantly reducing overall timelines. Our installation systems also allow for winter deployment opportunities, extending construction capability beyond traditional building seasons. Sky Modular also assists clients with engineering coordination, permit support, zoning review, logistics planning, transportation of routes, and crane coordination. Our goal is to simplify project delivery and provide municipalities with a true turnkey experience. Modular construction also creates a long-term strategic advantages for municipalities. Repeatable design reduces future planning and engineering costs. Housing inventory can expand in phases as demand grows. Durable steel frame systems reduce long-term maintenance risk and help protect municipal investments. Multifamily housing also creates a strong long-term value through rental revenue potential and asset appreciation. For municipalities looking to respond quickly to housing shortages while maintaining predictable capital planning, modular construction provides a scalable and practical framework. I'd like to introduce a proposed modular triplex project located at 4 Wabask Avenue here in Moosonee. The project consists of 3 independent residential units. Each unit contains 2 bedrooms and 1 full bathroom, designed to provide practical, durable, comfortable housing suitable for long-term residential use. The project utilizes Sky Modular steel frame system and has already completed its engineering phase. This project represents not only new housing supply, but also demonstration how modular construction can be successfully deployed in Northern Ontario communities. Here's the site plan. specifically designed and coordinated with the planning department. Here's the images, renderings of the triplex. And one of the biggest, as I mentioned, one of the biggest advantages of modular construction is the site work and factory manufacturing happen at the same time instead of one after another. While the site is being prepared here in Moosonee, including the foundations, utility servicing, driveway construction, and site preparation, the residential units are simultaneously being manufactured inside the control factory environment. In traditional construction, these phases usually happen one after another, significantly extending project timelines. For Northern Ontario communities where the construction season is limited, this time-saving advantages is especially important. This triplex project represents more than a single building. It demonstrates a model that can potentially be replicated for future municipal staff housing, affordable housing initiatives, senior housing, workforce accommodations, and additional community infrastructure. It shows that Northern Ontario communities do not need to wait years for quality housing solutions. With modular technology, communities can deploy infrastructure faster, more predictably, and with greater control over quality and long-term durability. We believe this approach aligns strongly with the long-term needs of Moosonee and many other northern communities. Thank you again to Mayor and members of Council for your time today. Sky Modular is excited about this opportunity to contribute to housing and infrastructure solutions in Moosonee. We believe modular construction provides a practical, durable, and scalable path forward for Northern Ontario communities facing urgent housing and infrastructure challenges. We look forward to continuing discussions, exploring how modular construction can support the future growth and resilience of Moosonee. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. And with that, I will ask councillors if they have any questions. Councillor Ryder?
Yeah, I have a few, I guess. What's the timeline that we have on this so far?
Yeah, well, we're targeting the end of July, August for the installation of the triplex.
So before the July and August, then we need to get a foundation and utilities and everything in order, correct?
Correct,
We
correct.
ourselves.
Yes, yes. Basically, I will be coordinating both the site work and the manufacturing. So that can happen simultaneously, and everything will be like the foundations are exactly match with our units, and basically those three components that has to happen within for the site. It's the foundations, construction of the driveway, and services, which have to be extended from the road to the triplex.
And with these triplexes, is there an option to add to them, like a second story? Or is not, that's not an option?
It's well, for this specific project, we have to engineer the second story, so that'll be difficult to put this on the top of the, unless we engineered from the beginning. But we could, as I mentioned, build up to 3 stories for perhaps for other projects. You know, in the future we could engineer specifically for, you know, construction in phases, and because our units can be stackable as well as, you know, put like, you know, side by side.
Questions I have?
No questions. Looking forward to having these in place.
Thank you.
I have one question. I was just wondering, how does that work with the building code? Is it inspected by you before it's all filled in? And then just have a final one here?
Yes, basically we are, in terms of the building code, there are 2 components, because there's manufacturing components, which is the units at the factory, and there's the site plan, I mean the site work. So the site work will be reviewed by on-site inspectors, basically, you know, for the foundations and for the occupancy when the units arrive, and then they're connected to the services. There'll be it has to be a occupancy inspection, and so this is the site work. In terms of the manufacturing process, we inspect ourselves, and we provide the engineering to you know, engineered based structures for, you know, the assembly of our prefabricated units.
Okay, one other question is, for the surfacing it, whether it's hydro or whether it's water and sewer, you're constructing these places right now. I know I worked for Hydro One for many years. You have to get a locate where the stack is going from hydro. Otherwise, you're going to have to be moving it. If you're just pre-building them, have you looked at that ahead of time? Or it's going to cost us more, got poles and lines and everything else where possibly transformers put in.
I might be able to answer that one. So the lot that we're talking about, the water and the sewer and the hydro were already run to the unit that used to be there. So it is run partly across the site. So they'll just have to take the services from where they are currently on the site and just move them to where the triplex is. And then in terms of timelines, just to let you know, basically we're waiting on all of the ice to melt so that we can have, or all the snow to melt so that we can get a topographical survey done of the property. And then Tim will use that survey to complete the design works, and then we put it out for tendering. And so that's kind of the process. And I know the snow is almost gone now, so I did send an email today, just follow up and see what the ETA was going to be on the survey. So that's kind of all in motion. But yeah, did that answer the question?
I know the reason I'm asking that is, say, I don't know what the code is right now, but years ago, if you had a mobile home, your code had to be within 30 feet of your stack. And where are you feeding it from? Just because it was an old house, there were old house there, I mean, not, you know, everything probably changed. So if we're getting this constructed with the stack, say on the left-hand side, and then has to be on the right-hand side, just, again, I don't know who's responsible for making sure of that.
I think that
Yes,
would be on the contractor, right, Tim? Whoever
Yes.
gets the tender to do the
Yes,
foundation and the site servicing, then they would be responsible for that.
Yeah, I think that could be potentially two contractors. One will be doing the site work, including the excavation, servicing, and building of the driveway, and the foundations. So the foundations could be installed by another contractor, but we'll probably need to investigate where existing services are, in order to just basically have this planned in terms of the driveway construction and the how the pipes will go there. So if the capacity is not enough, we'll need to have additional pipe there.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that is, for example, the meter has to be on the driveway side accessible.
Mhm.
And if we can't beat it from the existing lines along the road, we have to put a pole in, anchor guide, which is going to cost us a lot more money. So that's why I'm asking that, like, all that should be looked into before. And Nar had a question as well, so I'm going to turn over to Nar first, and then Joel has a question after.
I'm Nar, Public Works Manager. Just a quick question on the foundation. So most houses here aren't built, you know, we're looking at building on piles. And
Mhm.
since your building is pre-engineered, did you guys take that into consideration, or do we need to
Yes.
build a
Yes.
flat?
You know, it's planned to be used for with helical piles. I already spoke to contractor in Moosonee about the how that's usually done. We finished the engineering. It's about 32 helical piles that are going there, and we estimate that it will be 10 feet deep. You know, because the soil, I understand, is soft, and so but this is the plan exactly to have the we already engineered this for the helical piles and the loads and everything.
Thank you.
Joel, you have a question?
Yeah, so just a question then, I just understand who's managing what in this relationship for the town and Sky Modular. I understand waiting for the snow to melt so we can do like the geographical surveying, and I think it's InLink that's doing that for us. Are we then managing a relationship with InLink to get that survey done and get the piles built? Or are you also managing that as part of your contract, Sky Modular?
We are coordinating this work, but this work is done by contractors, like, you know, external contractors, specifically, you know, in Moosonee, because, you know, we cannot be there all the time. But we are will be coordinating this with the contractors, making sure that we'll be providing the scope of work with all the detailed drawings to them and so on, so that this work will be coordinated through us.
Okay, so that's not something that would fall on the public works manager to coordinate, you're coordinating that with InLink to get a drawing, to get the foundation built.
Yes, we are coordinating this. Yes, and it's we're doing this as as I mentioned, as a turnkey project, and would like to take this path as turnkey as possible for our clients.
But again, I hope before anything signed off, it comes to us because of the cost.
Of course.
You know, it has to come to us, we have to look at it. I know, again, with previous 10 feet down, the frost pushes the poles up here in the winter time. So is that going to push that house up the middle of the winter? Or, you know, in the spring, where we have to level it off every year or something?
Yes, we'll have to coordinate this work right now with the contractors and basically start with the survey and making sure that everything will be placed, you know, where it's supposed to be placed, and coordinate this work with the contractors.
Okay, and I hope the town gets involved as well. And I'll ask Carmen if he has any questions.
As long as I think everyone's communicating with each other and the work gets done. And I think certainly maybe that if the town isn't managing it, they should be aware and working with this organization.
Diane, you had another question?
That was gonna be my point, is that I think on the town, we definitely need to have somebody that's a project manager that's overseeing that things are going right. It's or do the whatever, like, you know, they can still do their part, but I still think that it has to have somebody from the town with the eyes on it. Because in the past, we get contractors and then these are all outside companies we're relying on, but there's gotta be somebody internally that's watching. It's a watchdog or not, right? It's just a watchdog.
I think
Yeah.
Victoria has been a great help, with this project, and she's been coordinating all this work. I think, if she could continue this in this role will be great.
All right,
Gerald also has a comment there. He has his hand up.
Joel, that's stand up.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that Tim has applied for a building permit for this particular project, and it will be going through the building permit process. So we won't be managing the project as per a project manager, but of course we'll be ensuring compliance with the building code and also doing the inspections throughout the project. Currently, it's been applied for, and our team is reviewing the technical documents with regards to permit issuance.
Right.
Yeah, I just think for point of contact with the town, just we're in a lot of transition right now. I think probably, from the Sky Modular point of contact, if you can just be looping in both like myself, with the treasurer, and then NAR's public works manager, and then we have both lines of sight on terms of just the deliverables, and then also the financing of it. Between the two of us, NAR and I can coordinate, but just when you're having your emails there and getting them in pieces, if you can make sure you're looping both NAR and I in on those communications, then that way we're all kept on board with what's going on.
Just to mention too, there is some coordination on the building permit process. So we will be setting up a relationship, of course, with NAR, so that when we talk about the approval of the site service hookups, that'll be something that NAR will be able to review also along with us to ensure that the town's satisfied with the connection of the existing services.
Okay, thank you. Council, anything else? Staff, anything else? All right, well, thank you very much for your presentation, and like I said, we will all have to work together on this, and look forward to the units being here and set up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Right, we will move on. Okay, we go down to the reference amendment, property standards bylaw, clean yard bylaw. Gerald from RSM Building Consultants online with us for this one. You all had a copy of the draft, so I will turn over to Gerald if that's okay, just to give us a little input of his feelings on this property standards bylaw.
Great, thank you. I appreciate being here today. It's really just a sort of touch base from what we talked about at the last meeting. One of the comments that was made, which was a good comment, was that we had the Clean Yards bylaw, which was passed quite a few years ago, and was that a conflict with the property standards bylaw? When we reviewed both bylaws, we really saw that they were a duplication of each other. All of the items that were in the Clean Yards bylaw are being also applied in the property standards bylaw. So really the way to solve this is to repeal the Clean Yards bylaw, because now all of that regulation would be now within the property standards bylaw. So it's a good idea to repeal, because you don't want two bylaws saying different things. Causes a bit of a conflict. So now this will clear that up, and you'll have one property standards bylaw.
Thank you, Gerald. Any questions from Colin?
Yeah, so this has come up 3 times now, and I think we finally have it
All right.
all ironed out.
Our staff that's in the room, do they have any comments on that? No. It just gives us more power to get things done, I think. But I know it's not all new to everybody, but so I guess we should have it at the next meeting, or since we pass this bylaw, and we should repeal the other bylaw.
The next meeting, we're gonna do the final reading for the standard.
Can you do both at the same time? Or if you
Yeah,
don't-
the
Yes,
same
we're-
meeting.
At the same meeting, yeah, because
Yeah.
we definitely don't want both of them.
Right, get it cleared up and out of the way. Is everybody happy with that then at the next meeting? All right, thank you. You heard that, Victoria and Gerald and everybody? All right, thank you. All right, so we move on to the next one. Briefing notes are, municipal participation in community engagement. Sarah. We have a motion for it. Okay, go ahead, please.
Resolution 2026 number 2026-125, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee acknowledges and support the municipality participation in the Participate Action Community Challenge.
Can I have a mover for this resolution, please? Carmen, seconder. Diane. Moved by Carmen Soldier, seconded by Diane Ryder. All right, on the floor. Any, Victoria, can you touch a bit on this one? Do you know?
Yeah,
Tara's not
Tara
here
did
tonight?
talk to me. Tara, oh, yeah, okay, sorry, I thought I was muted. Tara did speak to me about this. It seems like a really cool idea, just to get, people out and about, and there is an opportunity to win a prize, but it's really, the municipality can kind of help drive it by, right now we have our soccer program on, the high school has their soccer program on. It's a good time of year in Moosonee to get people outside and enjoying the outdoors and getting some exercise. So there's this program, I guess, gives the community a reason to sort of come together and be active. And it has like points that you get for doing certain things. And so that's kind of, she's just more or less asking that for permission, sort of that the municipality can kind of take it on and just kind of champion it. But again, it requires the whole community to sort of get involved and working with other entities.
All right, thank you. And, again, as council has said many times, it'd be nice if the manager could do a presentation for us and we could ask questions directly, because we won't have you here, too much longer than that, so, again, I think, there's certain things that maybe the, managers or, present to town. Thank you. Diane, do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions. Good idea.
Diane?
No questions, call for it.
All right, so we will move on. All in favor? So carried. Thank you very much. Okay, now, I guess we will go to the verbal from Victoria, our CAO.
Yep. So I just, more or less, the last couple of weeks, I've been really working on onboarding, obviously, our new staff members that have joined us. They're here at the council meeting. You guys might have informally met them. Nar, our new public works manager, and Joel, our new treasurer. So I've been really trying to, work with them, get them on board with, what's going on in the community, where some budget items are at. And then, getting them access to things like TPON or those kinds of things. I know that Jason, the IT guy, has been up, so he's been setting them up. Jason's also been working with other departments on getting IT, IT servicing done around the town, which is great. I've been, working on wrapping up some things with other people and sort of just, the ministry, had a chat with the ministry advisor, wrapped up with MHBC and RSM, kind of, again, handing off some of these portfolios to the new managers or the existing managers. So yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks has basically been that's basically what I've been doing. So.
I'll open the floor to Carmen. Any questions?
Not at this point, it's certainly gonna be a new era, different. Some new faces here, we've had these positions vacant for a while. And of course, our outgoing CAO, we wish you well in your future endeavors, and we'll see what other new face comes on board, hopefully sooner than later.
Yep.
And Diane?
Yeah, myself too, just happy to see some new faces up and getting some positions filled. as you, head out to, Victoria, and yeah, hopefully we can get a CAO on board soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks again, Victoria, for your help through the years. Appreciate it. And I was just wondering if you could send all the information you can to NAR with the Waha project. And
Yeah.
also any information you can for Joel, so we can continue moving forward on this. And I wish you all the best. And like I said, it was a pleasure working with you. And from here, I don't know, we're going to close session, find out where we go or what we're doing tonight later on. So thank you
Yep,
very much
no problem.
for your help. I appreciate it.
No, thank you guys. It's been a pleasure. And like I said, these two new guys, they're taking on a lot, and they've been pretty open and taking it all in. The feeling that they're quick learners, which is a good thing in Moosonee. So I'm very hopeful that that the new additions to the team are going to help stabilize things for the new CAO coming in as well. So yeah, I mean, it is a lot of change happening at once, but yeah, I think in a few months from now things should smooth out a little. So.
Well, thank you again. Okay, we'll move on to motions. Marvin?
All right, resolution 2026, number 2026-126. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee approves participation in the Northern Light Secondary School graduation with the bursary award of $200.
Now we move for this motion. And seconder, Carmen. And moves it. Carmen Tozer seconds it. It's up for discussion. Any discussion on Council Ryder?
No discussion. I think it's a great, continue with it. I know we've been doing this for years, and I think it's great for a person to get recognized anniversary of high school graduate. So, yeah.
Council Tozer?
Well, it's the first time I've been allowed to vote on this since this is my first year actually being completely retired, so glad to take part in this, so.
Again, they sent you notices. I did tell them I would participate in the graduation. If I'm not here, then of course Carmen will, if something comes up in the meantime, you know. But again, no, I think it's a worthwhile cause, and I did not answer about the bursary, but I guess probably we'll get back to them after the motion's carried.
Yeah.
All right, because again, I had to come to council, so we send up a follow-up again. All right, so with that, we will vote on all in favor. Both carried, this motion has been carried. All right, so we have Waha Dock and Carmen declared a conflict. He has left the room. Please, Robert.
Resolution 2026, number 2026-127. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Moosonee directs staff to begin work on established proposal from Waha for a dock area as per drawing provided.
Can I move it, please? May I move it? I will second it. Just for update on everybody, we've been talking about Waha and the docking situation for quite a while. In about a year now, they did have permission to do some testing there, I believe. But I don't know if it's ever come to council, whether council wants them or will permit them to have a docking thing there. So that's why I wanted to be on board tonight, that the staff start to work to see what has to be done out there. Otherwise, we have just he said, she said something, we don't have anything formal. So this is just directing staff to start the process, whatever has to be done. They have to, I know one thing they had to do was advertise to the public for, I believe it's 30 days, which they are doing now. Because if the public appeals it or something else, we're not going anywhere until we get this all straightened out. So this is just to get staff to start to move forward and we go from there. We're not talking about prices, but they're looking for a sublease, and I asked them to send us a drawing of the area that they're looking at. This is not lease rental or anything else. This is just to get staff to start to move it forward. Because I don't believe staff, I mean, council has ever really said yes or no what they, so that's what this is. Right, Victoria, did you want to put a little bit on that?
I mean, we have been working with Waha from a staff level for several months on this. Again, it kind of went back and forth as to what the plan was going to be, but now it's kind of landed on a sublease. So Waha is kind of working on a first draft of what they'd kind of like to see in it. I am working with Mia, and I have just even today discussed with both Joel and Nar and Trevor from the airport as well, aware of the situation as well. So the staff are informed about it, and we're willing to move to the next step, obviously with council, approval. But I mean, this is something that we've kind of been working on in the background for several months.
Yeah, well, that's what my main concern is. Our staff been working on this, but council they never had input whether they wanted there or not. And that, again, that's why I want to put a motion on the floor. Because if we're not even thinking about it or don't want to do it, then they're wasting their time.
I'd also like to see some documentation on it. I think talking about it is great. I just need to see any sort of documentation so I can have it for any reference.
Yeah, because I was at one of those meetings and there was keep talking about dogs, and I did speak with Victoria about it, but I never seen the area or what they wanted. There were so many rumors out there, but I wanted to make sure we have it. So that's why this motion is just given staff the go ahead to start working, so we all get knowing what's going on. Great. Man, do you have any other questions?
No, if that's what we're doing, is just kind of giving staff the direction to go ahead and start to look at this area. I know we did get a map at one time of Water Park and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know where that ever went to or whatever happened to that. But I'm all in favor of
I think it was a delegation, Diane. Remember, I think they came as a delegation. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to kind of have it start to move forward, and yes, that's the direction of council to take a look at.
Thanks. Again, just to again, there was talk about a park out there and about the town looking after the parking lot or being for picnic tables, everything else. And when I did speak with Wasco, Trevor from Wasco, and Alex, when we first had, they didn't want nothing like that out there because people were climbing the fence gate on the airport, everything like that. So this is why I want to stop, and we will know what's going on then, because there's so many different avenues and ways that we're going. All right, well, thank you, and we will vote on that. All in favor? Vote is carried. Thank you very much. Morning, Jerry. Right, so you know it, then formally adjourned. Yeah. All right, we'll go to reading bylaws. There's none, and new business, none. Council announcements, updates, and discussion. We don't have any. Oh, it's just, hold on for a minute. I'm gonna, under the 12, if council agrees on it, I would just, maybe, ask, Joel and Nar if they have anything they just want to say, is that okay with council? Right, Joel, do you have anything you'd like to input?
No, just excited to be joining the town of Moosonee. Yeah, it's been the last 17 years working in the business sector. So a lot of experience coming there, and I'm excited to bring it here and try to help Moosonee as I can to get things organized and caught up from a financial standpoint, and then try to bring the best practices moving forward. So yeah, excited to be part of the team. Looking forward to working.
Thank you, Joel. Nar?
Yeah, it's been a lot. There's been a lot to deal with. There's been a lot of paperwork. But what I am missing is Victoria's paperwork. I need to see what she was working on beforehand, if a lot of those responsibilities are falling on me. You can't just leave me on the island without a lifeboat. I need the paperwork. I need to see it. And there needs to be some sort of process to get that from her to me before she leaves tomorrow. If we can get that going, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. All right. So Victoria, you'll send all that up there as fast as you can, right, to Nar? You're on mute.
Sorry. I was just saying that Jason's on site, so I'm gonna have a chat with Jason tomorrow morning and just see, what the best way of doing that is, technology wise, and just figure out how that could work. But I mean, I'm all fine for sharing whatever I have with Nar and Joel or whoever might need the information. Obviously, I've had my fingers in a lot of honeypots, so to speak, especially with being short-staffed with a few managers lately. I've kind of taken on a few more things. So again, I have been trying to impart as much knowledge as I can to these guys. Over the last couple weeks, and it's been going really well. But I mean, yeah, there's a mountain of stuff to learn, and I'll provide as much as I can and figure out how the best way to do that is.
Okay, thank you. All right, so with that, we will go into closed session. Thank you, people, for coming. Yeah, thanks, Victoria, for all the work, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, that sounds good. Perfect. Have a good night, everyone. If I don't see you, take care. I'll talk to you tomorrow though, Wayne, and I think I'll see Carmen as well tomorrow. But best of luck to you as well, Diane. Yeah, thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Thank you.
As you move into closed session, just one thing to Nara's point there specifically, I think you should give some consideration. If we don't have a CAO, we might not have one for 1, 2, 3, 6 months, whatever. Do we want to give access to her email drive?
Further discussion, I'm going to carry, if not, all in favor? Carry.
Do you want to read first the minutes before the motion?
Yeah.
Resolution 2026, number 2026-130. Be it resolved that the council of the corporation at the town of Moosonee adopt the minutes of the closed session number 6-2026 of April 14, 2026 was presented.
I'll be back. I have a number. Secretary. And. Are there any discussion? No? Okay, all in favor?
For the motion. Resolution 2026, number 2026-131. Be it resolved that the council of the corporation of the town of Moosonee authorize the treasurer and public works manager to access the CEO's computer files and emails. Not sure.
Thank you. Have a mover, please. Diane, seconded. Any discussion? Not all in favor? That's carried. Resolution 2026-132. Be resolved that this meeting adjourn at 7:38 p.m. Have a mover, please. Second, Diane. Any discussion? All in favor? Carried. That last one, gave you the motion. Did I check carry guard?
Yeah.
Thank you, Carmen. Thanks, Diane.
This one. Sign.
Excellent.
Yeah, you sign. Thank you.